Hello, unstoppable women. What's up, you guys? I hope you guys are doing well. So my name is Lise Perez and I'm your master embodiment coach and author. And welcome back to my channel. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and that would be completely amazing. And I'm so happy that you can join me today. So today's topic I wanted to talk to you about, which of course I really resonate with it, right? And I resonate with this topic a lot, and I called it Embody Who You Are, because this topic is so important to really grasp and to really understand, so that you can focus on your purpose and you can focus on that, big picture vision that God has for you, right? That I speak a lot about gift activation in my lives, and when I talk about activating our gifts, I mainly refer to the purpose, the soul-led purpose, the heart-centered vision that the universe has in store for us, even before we've opened our eyes to this planet. And so embodying who you are is such a unique concept. And I say this because so often when we go through our life's journey, there tends to be a little bit of a disconnect that, we've succumbed to so many different ways of thinking and our behaviors and how our mindset works and what we're supposed to be doing in this life and who we are supposed to be in this life, right? Because and we succumb to this idea that other people have for our lives, that other people have, and being like, you know what, you need to be this, and if you've been raised by Asian parents, just like I have. Well, my mom is Asian, my dad is Canadian, and where they're like, you know what, I'm a travel agent, and so you need to be a travel agent. Or I'm in computers and I work in computers and I'm a computer technologist, and it's really good, and you need to do this, and you should go into school for this, and you should do that, because then I can give your business, I can give you my business, I could pass on my legacy, I could pass on my business to you, because I mean, it's a family-owned business, so you just got to do it. But there becomes a disconnect here, because we all have these gifts that we should be activating, that we need to activate. It's not that we should, but it's these gifts that the universe has provided to us, right? And anything that we do in life, anything that we go through, the personal experiences, the joy, the happiness, the heartbreak, the struggles, the trials, the tribulations, the doors opening, doors closing, every single thing that happens in our lives ends up leading ourselves back to our purpose without even realizing it. And so when people tell us what we should be doing with our lives, there becomes a disconnect, because a lot of us tend to people please our way through life. I did. And so people would be like, okay, you should do this, and I was like, oh, okay. Or you should do this. Oh, okay. This is how you should dress. Oh, okay. This, this. You should go to school. You should go to this school and take this program. Oh, okay. Right? And you would just do it. And so there's a huge difference in the person that you should be in other people's eyes and the person who you are meant to be. And the whole purpose of this video is about embodiment. We each have unique pieces that don't quite fit in someone else's puzzle. And so people might not understand our gifts. People may not understand our uniqueness, and therefore tend to judge us, right? Just like the quote, never judge a book by its cover. Well, there's some people in this life that tend to judge us by the way our cover is, without really even diving deep into the chapters of the book. And so, but in order for people to embody every single piece of us, we need to embody it ourselves. And when I say embody, I mean really embrace the pieces, right? This goes really diving deep into self-love and our own self-leadership, right? It's the evolution of our self-leadership, is being able to embody our pieces in order for other people to embody who we are, right? Because how can, like, if we don't love ourselves, and just to give you a very quick example, if we don't love ourselves, how can we expect people to love us? It just doesn't happen that way, because even if it did, it tends to be a little bit of a dissatisfaction, because yeah, people love us and all that stuff, and you know, they say I love you and they say, oh my gosh, you're inspirational. But if you don't believe that you're inspirational, if you don't believe that you're impactful, or that you really don't love yourself, then their words will just come as a grain of salt, and you won't really care about them. You won't really care about what they have to say, even if they do truly love you, because you don't embody those concepts. You don't embody, you know, that you are enough and that your story is enough. I have a friend whose daughter has a little bit of deformities. Like, she was a client and she had a little bit of deformities in her skin, and she told me, she's like, you know, she has been bullied, of course, right? Never judge a book by its cover. People do. And she's been bullied, and she has a lot of self-esteem issues and a lack of self-love because of the way God made her. And what I spoke about this is, like, when I was speaking about this to my client, and the little girl is 11 years old, sorry. And when I was speaking about this to my client, I said she needs to embody and she needs to love herself first before anybody else can love her. And so I had this event, and she was a model, and she was one of the models, and I told her, I said, look, I said, you know what, you're beautiful. You are incredibly beautiful. And I remember this day, like it was yesterday, and she's like, I am beautiful. I am. Right? Because when people tell you something and you don't embody it yourself, they could tell you, you are fantastically amazing, or you are enough for me, or you know, you're completely impactful, you're so inspiring, you empower me all the time, you've changed my life. But if you don't believe it yourself, then it doesn't really fly. And so in order to embody the pieces that you really are, you have to start with self-love first, of course, first and foremost, right? Embodying every single piece of you, embodying every single thing, embracing every single thing that God has made you to be, such as, you know, your flaws. And they're not really flaws. I don't call them flaws, I call them uniqueness. Because every single thing that we have, whether we have a cleft chin, or like what my daughters call a butt chin, right? Or a high forehead, or no eyebrows, or whatever the case may be. And that's just going from the exterior level. But I always believe that when you look good, you feel better. You feel great as well. So when even if you were born with some sort of a thing like that, it's, you know, when you can embody it and you can love it and you can embrace it, you'll be surprised, because it ends up being your most favorite feature. Because why? Because it makes you unique. So without you even realizing it, it's become your favorite feature, and it's become a feature that everybody loves, especially if you have the confidence in portraying your flaw. And as I said, it's not a flaw, it's your uniqueness. That's what makes you unique. Now if you have a story, and of course we all have stories, right? We all have messages that we need to share. Yesterday I spoke about your message. Well, it truly is, because whether you went through domestic violence, whether you went through your own mental health, maybe you went through suicide, maybe you went through bullying, maybe you went through where you lost a loved one, or you continue to lose a loved one, and or maybe you were pregnant and you lost the baby and during your term before it was born. Any of these pieces makes your story unique, right? And so when we think about it this way, and as I spoke yesterday, that life happens for us and not to us, when we think about it this way, that those pieces make up our book, those pieces make up the chapters in our story, that makes us incredibly unique, that makes our message really concrete and not stagnant and not dry. It actually makes it, humid. It makes it very transformative for a lot of people. When we can understand that, then we've truly embraced who we are, because it's part of us. And yes, there's a lot of times where, we feel pain. And of course, yesterday I spoke about we need to go through the process, and we need to just trust the process and understand that life happens for us and not to us. But as soon as we get past all the muck and the grossness and the darkness and all the dirt and the debris and all that crap, all of the unsexy work, as soon as we get past that, and we've learned true embodiment of every single piece of us, of every single piece of who we are, then we've truly embodied all of the other pieces that fall with it. So even if someone is like, I'm sorry for my loss, or sorry for your loss, or I didn't know you were bullied or whatever, then it can be like, it's okay, because I've transformed my life in such a way, and I've learned so many lessons, but that has become part of my story, and now I can help people going through the same thing. That's why I speak about your message, right? The unsexy work is your story. The unsexy work is your message. Right? So it's really, 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 really important to understand embodiment, understand what makes us unique, understand that we are not called to be followers. And that's what I've understood a lot in my own life, is that when people were trying to tell me who I should be rather than who I'm meant to be, I was training to become a follower. Because it's very different between between who you should be in people's eyes and who you are meant to be. And it's so completely different, because when you conform to the shoulds, there's a couple of things that happen here. One, you don't feel true happiness. You have an embodied joy. You could find happiness in your stagnant life, in your mediocre life, but when you're doing something because you should be doing it, right? You could find happiness in it, but it's not really a true embodiment of happiness. It's just a forced happiness. It's forced happiness because you believe that's what your life is meant to be doing. But in all reality, and number two is that you're going to get very, very bored of the life that you are living. And we are not meant to live mediocre lives. I will tell you this right now. We are not meant to live mediocre lives. We are meant to live lives that we truly desire. We are meant to leave a legacy on this planet. We are meant to become heart-centered in every single thing we do. But if you're only becoming who you should be because someone told you in your lifetime that you should be doing this because it pays great, or you're taking over the family business, if that is not your calling, then you're only conforming to the shoulds rather than who you're meant to be. And that alone, my friends, is powerful. And that becomes evolution of self-leadership. We are not meant to be followers. Some people believe we are. Some people believe they are. I did for a long time that I was like, maybe I'm not meant to be a leader. Maybe I'm meant to just follow. Just to have a boss. Just for someone to tell me what to do, just for someone to just tell me that this is what you should be doing, and if you're not doing it right, this is how you should be doing it, right? To follow rules by the book. But then I had to grow up. I had to learn a lot of life lessons in my own personal growth and development that told me that no, you have gifts that you need to activate, and you need to activate them. You are not a follower, you're a leader. You're not training to be a follower. I've always believed that God doesn't train us to be followers. He trains us to lead. He trains us to lead people that are meant to be led by us. And that starts with activating our gifts. That starts with living the life that we desire. That starts with shifting our mindset and releasing ourselves and freeing ourselves from a lifetime of stagnant energy, from a lifetime of poignant energy that eats up our souls, and that eats up every fiber of our being, and not really build a legacy at all. We are not meant to live mediocre. And as I said, some people believe that because they feel that they're too old, or they don't have the education, or enter another BS story here, right? And so, but when you come to realize that things are happening for you and not to you, you will understand that you are meant for more, you're meant for greatness, and it's time to embody every single piece of you, not just some piece, right? I call myself the embodiment coach because I believe in 5 different facets. There's through a time, there's 3, which is heart, body, mind, and spirit. But I've incorporated, and I believe that there's 5 facets to embodiment: body, mind, heart, spirit, and soul. Because each of them have its own responsibility in our lives. And when we can embody every single piece of it, every single, facet of our lives, then we can truly say that we've lived a life of desire, that we can truly say that we embody up every single piece of us, that we can say that we are happy, that we can say that we're joyful, that we can say that we're living in true abundance because we chose this life. We didn't choose it because someone else told us that's how we should be doing it. We're effing the reals in this realm of possibility. Because we have so many possibilities for our lives if we just understand embodiment of our true nature, embodiment of our characteristics, our behaviors, every single piece of us, then the possibilities become endless, right? It becomes really, the possibilities become true magnetism for the people that really, really need to hear your story, that really need to hear your joy, that really need to hear your message. Not sharing a message because we were told to share it, right? Because that's not alignment whatsoever. That's not embodiment. That's just doing it because we're training to be we're training to be followers, but we're not training to be followers. We are leaders. We are leaders of our time, we are leaders of the legacy we are creating, and we are leaders of our craft, of our uniqueness. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I could speak about this forever, but if you guys resonate with this video and you like the message that I shared, then please like, share, and subscribe, just as everybody else always says, and that would be so awesome. And please let me know in the comments below what your thoughts on this are, and what your gifts are that you might not have yet activated, but you're willing to give it a try, and you're willing to do whatever it takes. That's when your unstoppability really, really shines. So let me know in the comments below what your big picture purpose is. And if you're not sure what it is, well, that's what I'm here for, right? So you can just feel free to connect with me, and that would be so awesome. So I love you guys so much. God bless you. Stay empowered and go and get that